Привет, друзья! G'day, guys. Welcome to another Soviet lens review. Today, again, something a little bit different. We've got the TK2M teleconverter that we're going to be taking a look at. So not a direct SLR lens, but something that's perhaps even a little bit more exciting and more usable than you might first think. So I've got it out of the box first here as well. Let's take a look at it. And by the way, the box, I mean, this is peak kind of 80s Soviet design and colors, super retro, super cool. You can put this on a shelf, no problem, but it comes with a very nice kind of plastic Bakelite style lens case here with an M42 filter thread. This is an M42 adapter. I believe the Arsenal plant also made some of these for Nikon mount, if I'm not mistaken, but this one here, this one was made in the Dia projector plant in Belarus, around about 85. My one actually has a serial number of 005. So, yeah, interesting serial number there. But as you can see, it's a fairly standard, single layer probably, coated optic, very simple Barlow lens design, which is kind of the standard in teleconverter, 2 times, 1.4 times teleconverter designs that's used in, a multitude of teleconverters from all around the world. But the simple fact is what it does, it doubles your lens's focal length. So you can pop this on a 50mm, you'll get 100mm. You can pop this on a 100mm, you get 200mm, etc., etc. Today, though, we're going to be taking a look at some sample photos and some sample videos as well, just to see, in what situations is this actually usable? Because it's a little bit hard to tell. This is kind of an older lens, and anytime you start adapting glass to do what it wasn't originally designed to do, like turning a 35mm into a 70mm, you can potentially run into some issues. So first off, some very quick notes about this teleconverter. It is very small, very easy to attach. I love the ergonomics of it. That's the first thing. Now, I'll start off with the pros. It is a very sharp teleconverter as long as you're shooting your main lens at maybe f4, f5 or above. It is perfectly sharp and it really does not visibly degrade the quality of the image as long as you're sticking to those slightly higher apertures. And in that same respect, it does reduce light that is coming into the sensor by two stops rather. Which, to be perfectly honest, I was shooting on the Nikon Z6. Nikon Z6, you can crank it up to 6,000, 12,000 ISO, and it doesn't bat an eye. So I really didn't notice the 2 stops reduction of light here in any particularly negative way. But aside from that, I really liked how this teleconverter, it did not impart any sort of a real color cast to any of the photos. And you'll see that here, even in some of the comparison photos where, we've got really kind of strongly colored subjects. Like I shot a kangaroo paw here, and I shot it with the Mir 24M, very nice, very modern looking 35mm with the teleconverter, without the teleconverter. In both of those instances, the colors coming out are just really, really good. So I think you've got to give points to the TK2M for that. It does not really affect your colors whatsoever. Big bonus. What it does affect, however, is bokeh. So what you're going to see when you use this teleconverter lens is that your bokeh will suffer somewhat. And again, you could see it there in that example of the flowers of the kangaroo paws, in that the bokeh stopped being that kind of beautiful, creamy, smooth, plasticky bokeh that the Mir 24M is known for. So I think you've got to be a little bit careful about that. But I think at the end of the day, what this lens is really designed for and what it excels at is just those shots where you've got a super wide depth of field, where you just want everything in focus and you just want that extra little bit of focal length. Because as well, one of the negatives about this teleconverter is that when you put it on something like a 35mm or even a 50mm, fast 50mm, you are going to see that it's a lot harder to actually nail that focus point, particularly on a manual lens, because what's going to happen is that your depth of field, when you're focusing on, say, a 35mm, f2.8, your depth of field is still going to be at that very, very thin range, but now you've got double the focal distance, so it's actually a lot harder to nail that focus. Aside from that though, you don't want to be using this at f2 or below. It becomes unusable, very, very simply. At f1.7, it turns into just completely unusable, and it was obviously never designed for use with a fast 50 mil, fast f1.7 or f1.5 50 mil, and that's okay. Honestly, if you're shooting a 50 mil f1.7, then shoot a 50 mil f1.7. Don't teleconvert it into a 100 mil. That's just not going to work. So aside from that, we've gone through most of the kind of pros and cons with the TK2M here, and I think in summing up, one of the best things about this compared to all the other teleconverters on the market at the moment is that it is extremely cheap. So you get 2 times the focal length for whatever whatever M42 lens you are using. And I bought this one, perfect condition, with a box, with a super cool passport and instruction manual, signed and everything. And it actually cost me $10 and a bit of shipping. So really, really worth it at the moment. These things, they'll still be teleconverting in 50 years, I'm sure, because this is all metal. There's not a drop of plastic in this actual lens itself. Typical Soviet design. Absolutely love it. So yeah, I definitely recommend everyone to go out there, have some fun, get your TK2M, and for those of you who have, say a ZM5A, one of the 500mm super long Soviet mirror lenses, I think this would be really, really fun to play with on one of those. Unfortunately, I didn't have mine here in Perth to test it out with, but I've heard some good things about how it actually performs, effectively turning a 500mm into a 1000mm telescope as well. So definitely give it a try, but for now, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching another Soviet lens review. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, hit all that good stuff. You know what to do. Till next time, пока-пока.